As men age, their bodies start sending signals that are often ignored out of embarrassment or simply habit. One of the most delicate, yet crucial topics is prostate health. Talking about the prostate should not be a taboo, but rather a way to understand oneself better and prevent issues that affect millions of men worldwide. According to estimates from the World Health Organization, over 60% of men over 50 experience some type of prostate alteration, ranging from mild inflammation to more complex conditions. The good news is that nature offers simple and effective solutions that can help maintain this gland in balance, reducing discomfort and improving quality of life. Take David, for example, a 68-year-old man who had been waking up several times a night to urinate for months. After learning from his doctor that his prostate was enlarged, he decided to make changes in his lifestyle. Instead of resigning himself or relying solely on medication, he began researching how certain foods could influence his well-being. He discovered that some fruits, thanks to their composition rich in antioxidants, vitamins, and phytonutrients, could reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and even support hormonal function. Within a few weeks, with small dietary changes, David noticed that he slept better, had more energy, and experienced fewer nighttime disturbances. This is the essence of this topic, reconnecting with nature, understanding that foods can be powerful allies when chosen wisely and consistently. In this discussion, we will explore 5 fruits that have become true protectors of prostate health, all easy to find, delicious, and full of benefits for the male body. This is not about magical promises, but about science applied to everyday life. Each fruit has a story, a key nutrient, and a real effect on the well-being of mature men. Through this journey, we will learn how the lycopene in watermelon and tomatoes, the healthy fats in avocado, the cleansing fiber in pears, and the polyphenol in pomegranates work together to reduce inflammation, balance hormones, and support urinary function. Each fruit has its own character and role in this orchestra of wellness that, when combined with healthy habits, can transform prostate health in the long term. The goal is simple yet profound: to live more years with vitality, fewer discomforts, and a renewed sense of control over one's own body. The prostate is a discrete gland, almost invisible to most men for much of their lives, but it plays a huge role in maintaining balance in the male body. It sits just below the bladder, surrounding the urethra, and is roughly the size of a walnut. Despite its small size, its function is vital. It produces part of the seminal fluid that protects and nourishes sperm, allowing them to fulfill their reproductive mission successfully. But its role goes beyond sexual function. It is connected to the urinary system, hormonal balance, and overall male well-being, influencing everyday aspects such as energy, sleep quality, and the feeling of vitality. During youth, the prostate usually functions without difficulties. However, as the years pass, hormonal and metabolic changes begin to affect it. From around 40 or 50, the male body experiences a natural decline in testosterone and changes in the balance of other hormones such as estrogen. This imbalance can stimulate the growth of prostate cells and lead to progressive inflammation, which often goes unnoticed at first. What was once a light and flexible gland starts to become firmer, more sensitive, and, in some cases, larger than normal. This enlargement, called benign prostatic hyperplasia, is not a malignant disease, but it can interfere with basic bodily functions. As the prostate grows, it presses on the urethra and makes normal urination more difficult. Many men notice they need to get up several times at night or feel that they do not fully empty their bladder. These are silent but persistent symptoms, signs that something inside is changing. Sometimes, these changes can also affect sexual life, causing reduced desire or discomfort during ejaculation, which can generate silent frustration or anxiety. Physiologically, prostate health depends on the balance between blood circulation, tissue oxygenation, and reducing oxidative stress. When prostate cells are continuously exposed to free radicals, saturated fats, or chronic inflammation, they lose the ability to regenerate and become more vulnerable to alterations. This is why what we eat and how we live directly impacts this small gland. In countries with diets rich in fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats, such as the United States or Chile, prostate problems are less frequent and tend to appear later in life. In contrast, in regions dominated by ultra-processed foods and sedentary habits, symptoms appear earlier and more intensely. Understanding the prostate is understanding an essential part of masculinity, not from ego or silence, but from a perspective of comprehensive health. Taking care of it does not only mean preventing disease, but preserving the ability to live fully, with energy and peace of mind. And although it is often associated only with sexual function, its well-being also influences the immune system, emotional balance, and the confidence a man feels in his own body. Talking about the prostate naturally and without fear is the first step toward taking care of it as it truly deserves. Before we continue, I would love to know something to connect with our community. Which city or country are you watching from? Write it in the comments. I love meeting people who genuinely care about their health, and this allows me to create content that is more useful and relevant for you and your region. Let's get to the point. When the prostate begins to show signs of imbalance, the body sends small warnings that are often mistaken for the simple passage of time. One of the most common issues is benign prostatic hyperplasia, a condition that causes the gland to gradually increase in size. It is not cancer, but its effects can be equally bothersome. Men who experience it often notice that their urine flow becomes weaker or that they need to go to the bathroom more frequently, especially at night. What initially seems minor, like getting up once or twice to urinate, can become a routine that interrupts sleep, drains energy, and affects mood. Carlos, a 63-year-old man, remembered that he used to sleep through the night without interruptions. Over time, he began waking up 3 or 4 times, feeling constant pressure in his lower abdomen. At first, he thought it was because he drank too much water, but the discomfort persisted. When he finally visited his doctor, he was diagnosed with mild hyperplasia and advised to make changes to his diet, increase physical activity, and take some natural supplements. Within a few weeks, Carlos noticed considerable improvement. His story reflects that of many men who discover that small adjustments can make a big difference before the problem progresses. Another common disorder is prostatitis, an inflammation that can be caused by bacterial infections or by a buildup of tension and stress in the pelvic area. This condition not only causes urinary discomfort, but can also bring pain or burning during urination, a constant feeling of pressure, and even pain in the lower back or testicles. Unlike hyperplasia, prostatitis can occur at any age and affects both physical and emotional health. Many men describe a general feeling of fatigue, a loss of interest in daily activities, and a certain irritability that often goes unnoticed. Recognizing these signs early is essential to avoid complications. Prostate cancer, on the other hand, represents the most serious concern, although in most cases, if detected early, it can be successfully treated. In its initial stages, it may not show obvious symptoms, which is why regular medical checkups are essential. When signs such as blood in the urine, pain while urinating, or persistent difficulty emptying the bladder appear, it is important to see a specialist immediately. However, prevention remains the most powerful tool. Maintaining a diet rich in antioxidant fruits, reducing consumption of animal fats, and engaging in regular physical activity can significantly reduce the risk of developing serious prostate issues. In recent years, various studies have shown that men who maintain healthy habits and frequently consume foods rich in lycopene, omega-3, and vitamin C experience a lower incidence of prostate diseases. This confirms what many holistic health experts have been saying for decades. The prostate does not become unhealthy overnight, but rather reflects the lifestyle accumulated over the years. Understanding these warning signs and acting early not only prevents pain and discomfort, but also restores a sense of control and confidence in one's health. Taking care of the prostate is, ultimately, taking care of quality of life. Prostate health is not built with miracle remedies or quick fixes, but with daily decisions that, although small, create a solid foundation for long-term wellness. Every meal, every glass of water, every moment of rest directly influences the body's balance and, consequently, prostate function. Prevention does not start in the doctor's office, but at the table, in the kitchen, and in the way we choose to move our bodies each day. A balanced lifestyle is the most powerful tool to keep this gland healthy and avoid the discomforts that often appear with age. Nutrition is the first pillar. A diet rich in fruits, fresh vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins provides the nutrients the body needs to maintain hormonal function and reduce inflammation. Excessive animal fats, sugars, and ultra-processed foods, on the other hand, cause metabolic imbalances that can directly affect the size and function of the prostate. David, at 68, recalled that for years his lunches consisted of red meat and white bread. After experiencing several episodes of urinary discomfort, he decided to replace his meals with lighter dishes, legumes, oily fish, avocado, and antioxidant-rich fruits. Within 3 months, his energy improved, and his doctor noticed a reduction in inflammatory markers. A simple change transformed his health. Hydration also plays a crucial role. Many older adults reduce their water intake out of fear of getting up at night, but this can be counterproductive. When the body becomes dehydrated, urine becomes concentrated, which irritates the bladder and prostate, causing more urgency and discomfort. Maintaining adequate fluid intake, at least 1.5 liters of water a day, supports toxin elimination and helps maintain smooth urinary function. Including natural infusions such as nettle or dandelion tea can also help detoxify the body without irritating the urinary system. Physical exercise is another essential component. It is not about performing intense routines, but keeping the body active and circulation flowing. Walking, swimming, or gentle stretching improves blood flow to the pelvic area, reduces inflammation, and stimulates natural testosterone production. Regular movement also helps control body weight, reducing pressure on the pelvis and preventing worsening of prostate symptoms. Raphael, a 70-year-old retired man, started walking every morning with his dog. What began as a habit to accompany his pet became a therapy for his health. He noticed that his nighttime bathroom visits decreased and his mood improved significantly. Finally, stress management is an often overlooked aspect. The body does not distinguish between emotional and physical stress, and both can cause muscle contractions in the pelvic area that interfere with proper prostate function. Practicing breathing techniques, meditation, or simply taking a few minutes each day to disconnect can make a profound difference. Hormonal health, nervous system balance, and a sense of well-being are closely connected. Prevention is ultimately a matter of consistency, not luck. It is the result of a conscious lifestyle that honors the body as the primary instrument of health. Among all the fruits summer offers, watermelon holds a special place, not only for its refreshing taste, but for its profound impact on men's health. Its deep red color signals the presence of lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that helps protect cells from oxidative stress and maintain prostate balance. During the warmer months, when the body tends to dehydrate and circulation may slow, watermelon acts as a natural ally, hydrating from within and boosting overall vitality. It is no coincidence that in many regions it is considered a fruit of energy and purification. Lycopene, the natural pigment that gives watermelon its characteristic hue, has been the focus of numerous scientific studies for its ability to reduce the risk of prostate alterations. This compound helps decrease internal inflammation, improves blood vessel elasticity, and protects DNA within cells from damage caused by free radicals. When lycopene accumulates in tissues, especially in the prostate, it acts as an invisible shield that preserves cellular structure. After changing his diet, David began including a large slice of watermelon every morning. Within a few weeks, he noticed a feeling of lightness, less bloating, and greater ease in urination. His doctor, impressed, explained that the antioxidant effects of lycopene can be compared to a natural daily protection treatment. Beyond lycopene, watermelon offers a treasure many overlook: its extremely high water content, exceeding 90% of its weight. This makes watermelon an ideal source of hydration, especially for older men who often drink less than necessary. Proper hydration supports kidney function, prevents toxin buildup, and allows the bladder to work without extra effort. When the urinary system stays clean and flowing, the prostate also functions better. In this sense, watermelon not only refreshes, but also helps the body cleanse continuously, like a gentle stream carrying impurities out of the system. But its benefits do not stop there. This fruit also improves blood circulation thanks to certain amino acids that relax blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more easily to the pelvic organs. Efficient blood flow means more oxygen, more nutrients, and better prostate function. In fact, some nutritionists recommend watermelon as a natural supplement for men with mild erectile issues, as it helps maintain vascular vitality. The combined effect of lycopene, citrulline, and water makes this fruit a true natural remedy, free of side effects. Anthony, a 65-year-old man living in a rural area in the South, shared that for years he had dismissed watermelon as just water with sugar. However, after a particularly hot summer during which he decided to eat it every day, he discovered that he felt lighter, rested better, and noticed less pressure when sitting. Since then, he calls it his fruit of serenity. His testimony reflects a simple but profound truth. Nature offers subtle remedies that work quietly, but with cumulative effectiveness. Watermelon teaches an important lesson about men's health. Well-being does not depend on complicated chemical formulas, but on habits that connect men with the earth and its cycles. Including it regularly in the diet, especially during the hot months, not only refreshes the body, but also cleanses, protects, and revitalizes from within. In a world where quick solutions promise miracles, this humble fruit reminds us that true balance is built with patience, consistency, and respect for what is natural. Within the same watermelon that refreshes summer days lies a lesser-known yet deeply beneficial component for men's health, citrulline. This natural amino acid, found mainly in the white part of the rind, plays an essential role in blood circulation and sexual energy. Its name comes from the Latin term citrullus, which means watermelon, and its main function is to help the body produce nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes blood vessel walls, improving blood flow to all organs. This improved circulation not only benefits heart health, but also enhances male vitality and balances the pelvic region. As men age, nitric oxide production tends to decrease, which can lead to arterial stiffness, reduced tissue oxygenation, and less efficient blood flow to the prostate and sexual organs. This is where citrulline comes in, acting like a key that unlocks blood flow and allows the body to function more harmoniously. Various clinical studies have shown that regularly consuming foods rich in citrulline can help improve mild erectile function, increase daytime energy, and reduce feelings of fatigue. While it is not a replacement for medical treatments, it represents a natural alternative that boosts vitality without side effects. After learning about this compound, David decided to use every part of the watermelon, including those he had previously discarded. He began preparing natural juices, combining the red flesh with small pieces of the white rind. Within a few weeks, he noticed a difference in his physical endurance while walking and an overall sense of well-being. His experience mirrors that of many men who, by adopting this simple practice, discover more stable, natural, and sustained energy. Citrulline does not act immediately like a stimulant. It gradually builds balance, strengthening the foundation of male vitality. The connection between citrulline and prostate health is not direct, but is profound. By improving circulation in the pelvic area, tissue oxygenation around the prostate is enhanced, and congestion that often accompanies inflammatory processes is reduced. When blood flows freely, cells receive more nutrients, local metabolism accelerates, and waste is eliminated more efficiently. This balance reduces pressure, improves urinary function, and creates a lighter, more relaxed bodily response. Sexual vitality is also positively affected, not only physically but emotionally, as men feel more confident and in control of their bodies. A clear example is Javier, a 58-year-old man who had lost confidence in his physical and sexual energy. After consulting with a nutritionist, he began a morning smoothie with pieces of watermelon, a little lemon juice, and cucumber. After a month, he described a sensation of active circulation, more serene and consistent energy. His doctor explained that citrulline had helped dilate blood vessels, improving oxygenation not only in the pelvic area but throughout the body. That small dietary change became the starting point for a broader recovery of his self-esteem and well-being. Citrulline teaches a lesson that goes beyond the physical aspect. It represents the idea that male energy is not based on brute strength or speed, but on consistency and flow. Just as blood circulates unobstructed, a man who cares for his body with attention and patience learns to maintain his vitality without forcing it. Including foods rich in this amino acid, like watermelon, may seem like a simple gesture, but it actually symbolizes a commitment to a more conscious, natural, and balanced masculinity. Among all the fruits that appear on everyday tables, the pear often goes unnoticed. It does not have the intense color of watermelon or the fame of avocado, but it contains a silent treasure that works consistently for the benefit of the male body. Its modest appearance and mild flavor hide a perfect combination of fiber, water, and minerals that support digestion, balance the intestines, and indirectly protect the prostate. In David's case, the pear became an unexpected ally. After experiencing episodes of heaviness and slow digestion, his doctor explained that keeping the intestines moving was essential to reducing pelvic pressure and supporting prostate wellness. Since then, he started including a fresh pear in his breakfast, and soon he noticed a feeling of lightness that improved not only his digestion, but also his mood. The pear acts like an internal cleanser. Its high soluble fiber content helps absorb toxins from the intestines and facilitates their elimination, preventing waste substances from accumulating and causing inflammation, which over time can affect the prostate. When the digestive system works smoothly, the whole body benefits. Abdominal bloating decreases, circulation improves, and the pelvic organs experience less pressure. This connection between the intestines and the prostate is often overlooked, but is fundamental. Irregular bowel movements or an imbalanced gut flora can generate silent inflammation that, over the long term, contributes to urinary discomfort and a feeling of heaviness in the lower abdomen. In addition, the pear contains natural antioxidant compounds such as quercetin, which help combat free radicals responsible for cellular aging. These compounds reduce oxidative stress, a process that affects all the body's cells, including the prostate. Eating a pear a day may seem insignificant, but its cumulative effect is remarkable. The combination of water, fiber, and antioxidants creates a perfect balance that supports internal cleansing and cellular regeneration. Even its juicy texture and natural sweetness encourage slow chewing, which also improves digestion and stimulates saliva production, the first step of the digestive process. A similar example to David is Robert, a 62-year-old man who had suffered digestive discomfort for years and often attributed it solely to age. By incorporating a pear as a regular part of his morning diet, along with a glass of warm water, he noticed a gradual improvement in his overall well-being. His digestion became lighter and his sleep improved. During a follow-up medical checkup, his doctor explained that efficient digestion reduces the body's metabolic overload, contributing to hormonal and prostate balance. This connection between diet, digestion, and energy demonstrates that health does not depend on a single organ, but on the interconnected system of the body. The pear, with its quiet simplicity, teaches a profound lesson. Sometimes the simplest things are the most effective. It does not need a bright color or exotic flavor to do its work. It protects from within, cleansing, hydrating, and balancing the body with almost invisible delicacy. In modern life, where everything seems rushed and artificial, the pear invites calmness and a return to the essentials, reminding us that well-being begins with small, consistent actions. Including it in the daily diet is not just a nutritional choice, but a declaration of self-care, a way of telling the body that it deserves attention, cleansing, and balance. For a long time, the intestine and the prostate were considered completely independent systems, as if there were no connection between digestion and urological health. However, modern science has shown that both organs are deeply interconnected. The pelvis is a shared space where intestinal activity, blood circulation, and prostate function constantly influence each other. When the intestines do not work properly, Disruptions occur that affect the overall balance of the male body, from chronic inflammation to weakened immune function. Understanding this connection is key to realizing why a fiber-rich diet and fruits like the pear can have such a positive effect on prostate health. The intestine hosts billions of bacteria that make up the so-called gut microbiota. This invisible ecosystem plays an essential role in digestion, nutrient absorption, and immune system regulation. When the diet is low in fiber or dominated by ultra-processed foods, the balance of the microbiota is disrupted and pathogenic bacteria appear, causing inflammation. This inflammation, although starting in the intestines, can extend to other areas of the body, including the prostate. Doctors refer to this phenomenon as low-grade systemic inflammation, a silent fire that does not produce immediate pain, but gradually weakens the body over time. A sluggish intestine, full of toxins or with slow transit, can also exert physical pressure on neighboring organs, hindering pelvic drainage and affecting blood flow to the prostate. This explains why many men with chronic constipation also experience urinary discomfort or a feeling of heaviness in the lower abdomen. Intestinal health, therefore, depends not only on what we eat, but also on the quality of rest, hydration levels, and stress management. The body functions as an integrated system in which every part communicates with the others, even when we are not consciously aware of it. Recent studies have confirmed that a balanced microbiota helps reduce the incidence of recurrent urinary tract infections, especially in older men. When beneficial intestinal bacteria dominate, the growth of harmful microorganisms that could migrate to the urinary tract or prostate is prevented. For this reason, maintaining a clean, active, and well-nourished gut not only improves digestion, but also indirectly but powerfully protects prostate health. Eating fresh fruits, vegetables, legumes, and drinking enough water are simple actions that strengthen this biological connection, promoting harmonious communication between the intestines and the prostate. This often forgotten connection reminds us that prevention does not start with a pill, but with understanding the body as a whole. A man who cares for his digestion is also caring for his energy, circulation, and regenerative capacity. Listening to the body, recognizing its signals, and nurturing internal balance is the most solid path to a full and healthy maturity. And although it is not always visible, every dietary choice leaves a profound impact on the well-being of the body's most sensitive organs, including that small gland that greatly influences male vitality. Avocado, with its soft pulp and buttery flavor, has been considered for centuries a symbol of fertility, energy, and vitality. Its shape resembles an ancient seed of life, and in many cultures, it is associated with male strength and regeneration. Beyond legends, modern science has confirmed that this green fruit is a true nutritional gem. It contains high-quality monounsaturated fats that help maintain healthy cholesterol levels, reduce internal inflammation, and improve blood circulation. Good circulation is essential for the functioning of all organs, including the prostate, which depends on a constant flow of oxygen and nutrients to stay balanced. In addition to its healthy fats, avocado provides a unique combination of vitamins and minerals that make it a natural ally for male metabolism. It is rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects cells from premature aging, and vitamin B6, essential for hormonal balance and energy production. It also contains lutein and zeaxanthin, plant pigments that protect cells from oxidative stress and support eye health, while simultaneously helping maintain prostate tissue integrity. These compounds help prevent the accumulation of free radicals that can damage cellular DNA and promote silent inflammatory processes that, over time, affect prostate function. In David's story, the protagonist seeking to regain his vitality, avocado appeared almost by chance. A friend suggested including it in his breakfast, combining it with whole grain bread and a touch of lemon. At first, he was skeptical, thinking it was just a trend, but over the following months, he began to notice overall improvements: less heaviness, more energy, better digestion, and a more stable mood. His doctor explained that it was not a miracle, but a natural reaction of the body to a more balanced, anti-inflammatory nutrition. That small green fruit was helping reduce internal tension, nourishing the nervous system, and contributing to better tissue oxygenation. Avocado also plays an important role in weight control and metabolic regulation. Although it is a caloric food, its healthy fats create a feeling of fullness that prevents overeating and blood sugar spikes. This is especially useful for men over 50, an age when metabolism slows down and the body easily accumulates abdominal fat, a factor that increases inflammation and prostate problems. Replacing saturated animal fats with avocado is a smart choice that protects the heart, improves digestion, and maintains hormonal balance. It is not about consuming it excessively, but about incorporating it in a balanced way into the daily diet. It can be added to salads, spreads, toast, or even natural smoothies. Its neutral flavor allows it to be combined with citrus fruits, tomatoes, or pears, creating a synergistic effect between antioxidants, fiber, and healthy fats. This combination enhances the absorption of lycopene and other phytonutrients that act directly on the prostate. Avocado is ultimately an example of how nature offers simple solutions to complex problems. Its composition helps the body regenerate from within, strengthening the circulatory system and reducing the subtle inflammation that often goes unnoticed. In a fast-paced world where stress and poor diet weaken male health, this green fruit stands as a symbol of balance, energy, and life. David, by incorporating it into his daily routine, realized that prostate care does not begin with fear of disease, but with small acts of respect toward one's own body. Testosterone is one of the most important hormones in a man's life, not only for its role in sexual function, but also for its influence on energy, mood, muscle mass, and heart health. As the years go by, especially after 60, testosterone levels naturally begin to decline. This process, known as andropause, is not a disease, but a physiological transition that can manifest silently or with signs often mistaken for normal aging. David, for example, noticed he felt more tired, had less sexual desire, and experienced a slight loss of muscle tone. He thought it was normal, but his doctor explained that these changes were due to a hormonal decrease that could be addressed through lifestyle. The good news is that the body retains the ability to produce testosterone throughout life, provided it is given the right conditions. A diet rich in healthy fats, such as those in avocado or olive oil, provides essential components for hormone synthesis. Vitamin D, zinc, and magnesium also play a key role in this process, supporting the function of endocrine glands. Therefore, moderate sun exposure, combined with a balanced diet, can have a direct effect on male vitality. In addition, regular exercise, especially strength training and cardiovascular activity, stimulates natural testosterone release, improves circulation, and strengthens the nervous system. Hormonal balance does not depend solely on food, but also on stress management. In modern life, excessive worries, lack of rest, and mental overload can raise cortisol levels, a hormone that acts as a testosterone antagonist. When cortisol remains high, the body enters a constant state of alert, reducing male hormone production and affecting prostate function. Learning to disconnect, practicing deep breathing, or even walking in nature can help restore the inner calm that the body needs to regain balance. David incorporated small changes into his routine. He began sleeping better, reduced his afternoon coffee, and enjoyed brief evening walks. Within weeks, he noticed a remarkable improvement in his mood and daily energy. It is also important to talk about the relationship between testosterone and sexual health. Many older men experience a decrease in libido or difficulties with erections, which can affect self-esteem. However, beyond pharmaceutical treatments, there are natural strategies that help improve sexual function at its root. Maintaining good blood circulation, caring for the diet, and strengthening the pelvic muscles directly support erectile response. The citrulline in watermelon, the antioxidants in tomato, and the healthy fats in avocado form a powerful combination that promotes blood flow to male tissues. Aging should not be associated with a loss of masculinity, but rather seen as a new stage in which understanding one's own body becomes the primary tool for maintaining vitality. A man who learns to listen to his signals, care for his rest, and eat consciously can maintain healthy hormone levels even after 70. In this sense, testosterone is not just a molecule, but a reflection of internal balance, the harmony between body and mind. David realized he did not need to look for quick fixes or rely on miracle supplements. What truly transformed his well-being was consistency and attention to detail, sleeping well, eating high-quality foods, staying active daily, and maintaining a positive spirit. He discovered that male energy is not measured by physical strength, but by the ability to keep curiosity, desire, and enthusiasm for life alive. With this new approach, his sexual and prostate health naturally strengthened, reminding him that every stage of life can be lived fully if balance is cultivated. Among fruits and vegetables that offer protection for both the heart and the prostate, the tomato holds a privileged place. Its deep red color not only brightens dishes, but also symbolizes the vital strength contained within. Behind its simple appearance lies a cocktail of nutrients working in synergy. Lycopene, vitamin C, potassium, and polyphenol work together to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and protect cells from oxidative stress. David used to consume it occasionally in salads, never imagining that such a common gesture could become a powerful tool for health. His nutritionist explained that regularly incorporating tomato could make a significant difference in preventing heart and prostate diseases. Lycopene, the pigment that gives tomato its characteristic red color, has been the subject of numerous scientific studies confirming its ability to reduce the risk of prostate cancer and improve cardiovascular health. This antioxidant works by neutralizing free radicals that damage cells and accelerate aging. But its effect goes further. Lycopene also helps maintain cholesterol levels, reduces plaque formation in the arteries, and promotes better tissue oxygenation. When the body receives a constant supply of lycopene, the circulatory system works more efficiently and blood pressure tends to stabilize. David decided to include tomato in different ways in his diet. In the mornings, he prepared whole grain bread with crushed tomato and olive oil, a typical Mediterranean breakfast that was not only delicious, but also enhanced lycopene absorption thanks to healthy fats. At lunch, he added cherry tomatoes to his pasta or rice dishes, and in the evenings, he often prepared cold soups or stews with cooked tomato. Over the weeks, he began to feel lighter, with smoother digestion and a general sense of well-being. His doctor confirmed that his cholesterol levels had improved and that his circulation was more balanced. Tomato is also an ally of the heart, an organ closely connected to the prostate when it comes to inflammation and circulatory function. When blood flows more easily, prostate tissues receive better oxygen and nutrients, reducing the risk of congestion and enlargement. In older men, this connection becomes even more important, as a healthy heart ensures proper blood supply throughout the pelvic region. For this reason, a diet rich in tomato not only protects the cardiovascular system, but also acts as a comprehensive shield against age-related diseases. However, not all tomatoes are the same. Locally grown tomatoes ripened in the sun usually contain higher concentrations of lycopene and more flavor. David began frequenting his neighborhood market, where he learned to distinguish the most aromatic and fresh tomatoes. He discovered that darker-colored tomatoes, or those with thicker skin, concentrated more antioxidants. He also learned that cooked tomato releases lycopene more effectively than raw, so he decided to prepare homemade sauces with a touch of olive oil and garlic. In this way, his diet became a true health ritual. Beyond lycopene, tomato provides B vitamins and minerals like potassium, which help maintain fluid balance and heart rhythm. This combination of nutrients promotes the elimination of retained fluids and helps relieve pressure in the prostate area. Its mild diuretic effect, combined with its antioxidant power, makes it an essential fruit for men seeking to prevent urinary or inflammatory problems. Essentially, tomato is a source of pure, accessible energy, a gift from nature that can be enjoyed year-round in multiple forms and preparations. Over time, David realized that true prevention does not rely on costly treatments or drastic changes, but on the consistency of small gestures. A simple plate of pasta with tomato sauce, a fresh salad, or a natural juice could become a form of daily self-care. He learned to enjoy every bite, knowing that, in addition to nourishing his body, he was strengthening his heart and protecting his prostate. Tomato became his personal symbol of balance and vitality, reminding him that when eating becomes mindful, the body responds with gratitude and renewed energy. Lycopene is not just a pigment that colors tomatoes, watermelons, and pomegranates red, but one of the most studied molecules in modern science concerning male health. Its antioxidant capacity even surpasses vitamin E, giving it tremendous power to neutralize free radicals responsible for cellular aging. Specifically regarding the prostate, lycopene acts as a shield that reduces inflammation and prevents abnormal prostate cell growth. Researchers have observed that men with higher blood levels of lycopene tend to have a lower incidence of prostate cancer and more stable urinary function. This is not a miracle, but the result of a constant interaction between diet, metabolism, and hormonal balance. When lycopene enters the body, it does not act immediately. It accumulates gradually in tissues, especially the prostate, liver, and testicles, where it performs a long-term protective role. Therefore, benefits are not seen overnight, but with time and consistency. Clinical studies have shown that lycopene modulates the expression of certain genes related to inflammation and oxidative stress, helping the body maintain an internal state of calm and balance. This silent but continuous effect makes lycopene an indispensable ally for male wellness. In the kitchen, lycopene has a fascinating feature. Its bioavailability increases with heat. Unlike many vitamins that are destroyed during cooking, lycopene is released more easily when the tomato is heated, especially if combined with a source of healthy fat like olive oil. In other words, a homemade sauce, a soup, or a stew is not only comforting, but also therapeutic. Science explains that heat breaks the tomato cell walls, allowing lycopene to dissolve better and be absorbed more effectively by the body. David was surprised to discover that his simple habit of preparing tomato sauce on weekends had a scientific basis. His nutritionist told him that this dish, combined with a little avocado or a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, created the perfect combination to enhance lycopene absorption. Since then, David turned his kitchen into a small laboratory of wellness. He learned to gently sauté tomatoes, avoiding harsh frying, and to add herbs like oregano or basil, which also contain natural antioxidant compounds. In this way, his meals became not only tastier, but also more functional. Lycopene not only protects the prostate, but also plays a key role in preventing cardiovascular and metabolic diseases. It improves blood vessel elasticity, helps regulate blood sugar, and contributes to firmer, more radiant skin. Many men over 60, when incorporating lycopene-rich foods, report increased overall vitality and improved sexual response, likely due to optimized blood flow. While these effects are not immediate, they reflect a profound transformation of the body when it receives the nutrients it needs. Science has advanced so much in this field that some countries have begun including lycopene as an ingredient in dietary supplements aimed at male health. However, experts agree that the best way to obtain it is still through fresh foods. The lycopene in a homemade sauce, prepared patiently and with care, contains a vital energy that no pill can match. David understood this very well. Every time he prepared his favorite dish, he felt that he was not just cooking to eat, but also to strengthen his body and preserve his vitality. In Mediterranean cuisine, lycopene is found in many traditional dishes, from a hot tomato soup in winter to cold gazpacho in summer. These are simple recipes, but behind their apparent modesty lies centuries of popular wisdom that modern science is only beginning to confirm. Eating well, enjoying flavors, and taking care of health are not three separate actions, but one expression of human balance. When David savored his red sauce, he understood that in every spoonful there was more than taste and color. There was science, prevention, and life. Pomegranate has been considered since ancient times a symbol of life, fertility, and regeneration. Its exterior, with a tough skin protecting an interior full of ruby-like seeds, mirrors what happens in the human body, a strong defense against factors that wear it down from within. In the context of male health, this fruit has become a true natural treasure due to its ability to reduce inflammation and strengthen circulation, two key elements when it comes to prostate wellness and vital energy. Scientists have discovered that pomegranate is a rich source of polyphenol, bioactive compounds that help neutralize inflammatory and oxidative processes affecting the body's cells. Among them, phenylhalogens stand out, a type of antioxidant found in particularly high amounts only in this fruit. These molecules act directly on the walls of blood vessels, helping them maintain elasticity and promoting a steady blood flow to all organs, including the prostate. This improved circulation means better oxygenated tissue, more efficient toxin elimination, and a lower risk of pelvic congestion, which is a silent cause of many urinary disorders. David remembered that his grandmother used to give him pomegranate juice as a child, especially in winter. At the time, he saw it only as a gesture of love, but now he understood that behind that habit lay ancestral wisdom. By reintroducing pomegranate into his diet, he noticed subtle but profound changes. His digestion improved, his skin became more radiant, and the feeling of chronic fatigue began to fade. His doctor explained that this was no coincidence, as pomegranate polyphenol help reduce levels of C-reactive protein, a direct marker of inflammation in the body. Regular consumption of pomegranate also seems to have positive effects on testosterone. Some clinical studies in men over 50 show that natural juice from this fruit can slightly increase hormone levels without resorting to pharmaceutical treatments. This hormonal balance supports better libido, greater mental clarity, and a more stable mood. It is not a miracle cure, but a gradual process in which the body, receiving powerful antioxidants and quality nutrients, regains its natural capacity for self-regulation. In the cardiovascular realm, the benefits are equally remarkable. Pomegranate helps reduce the oxidation of LDL cholesterol, the kind that tends to deposit in arteries and narrow them over time. By preventing this process, blood flows more freely and organs receive more oxygen. David, who had experienced episodes of irregular blood pressure, began drinking half a glass of pomegranate juice every morning, and over the months, he noticed an improvement in his daily energy and an overall sense of lightness. His doctor, surprised by the results, encouraged him to continue the routine, complementing it with a varied diet and regular exercise. Modern science is beginning to understand what ancient cultures already intuited. In Persian medicine, pomegranate was used to purify the blood and strengthen the heart. In India, Ayurvedic medicine considered it a balancing remedy for the three dashas, especially useful for calming excess internal heat, now understood as chronic inflammation. These traditional knowledges, far from superstition, now find support in molecular biology and contemporary clinical nutrition. The most interesting aspect of pomegranate is that its power is not limited to the juice. The white, bitter part that separates the seeds also contains significant antioxidants and fiber. Although many people discard it, including a small fragment in a daily smoothie provides additional benefits for the digestive system. Moreover, the seeds themselves, when chewed slowly, help stimulate the production of nitric oxide, a substance fundamental for keeping arteries dilated and blood flow stable. This same mechanism explains why regular pomegranate consumption also improves sexual function by optimizing blood supply in the pelvic area. In David's story, pomegranate went from being an occasional fruit to a daily ritual. Instead of seeing it as a treatment, he incorporated it as a pleasure, enjoying its sweet tart flavor while knowing that every sip was an investment in his health. In the mornings, as he prepared his juice, he remembered how a simple food could have such a profound impact on the well-being of a mature man. He understood that caring for the prostate and vitality did not require complicated formulas, but a conscious relationship with nature and its fruits. Thus, pomegranate established itself as a red jewel, not only for its bright color, but for its ability to restore strength and balance to the body. In it, modern science and ancient wisdom converge, reminding us that true medicine is often found in what the earth generously offers, waiting only for us to use it consistently and respectfully. Knowing that fruits can help protect the prostate is only the first step. What truly matters is learning to integrate them into daily life consistently and in balance. It is not about consuming large amounts in a short time, but about establishing a natural rhythm where the body receives an adequate daily dose of nutrients. David understood this after several weeks of experimenting with different combinations. At first, he drank pomegranate juice 3 times a week, then added half an avocado to breakfast and a slice of watermelon in the afternoon. Over time, his body began to respond, and he noticed more stable energy, deeper sleep, and an overall sense of well-being he had not experienced in years. The key lies in regularity. The body does not transform overnight, but through small, repeated gestures. Drinking a glass of fresh juice in the morning, adding fruit to lunches, or replacing processed desserts with a portion of pear or marinated tomato may seem like minor details, but over time, they make a big difference. These fruits, rich in lycopene, polyphenol, fiber, and healthy fats, act as an internal cleansing system that maintains metabolic balance and reduces inflammatory processes affecting the prostate and the entire male hormonal system. Another important aspect is preparation. David discovered that not all methods preserve nutrients in the same way. When he manually pressed pomegranates, the flavor was more intense and the drink retained a slightly thick texture, indicating that active compounds remained intact. In contrast, when using high-speed blenders, heat and friction reduced some antioxidants. The same applied to tomatoes. When cooked gently with a little olive oil, lycopene became more bioavailable, facilitating absorption by the body. He thus understood that the combination of temperature, time, and type of fat were key factors in maximizing benefits. Product quality also matters. Ripe fruits, grown naturally and without excessive chemicals, retain a more complete nutritional profile. David began visiting local markets, where he could speak with farmers and personally select his fruits. He learned to identify pomegranates with bright, firm skin, juicy pears with a soft aroma, creamy textured avocados, and intensely colored watermelons. This direct contact with food restored a sense of connection with nature and his own body. Incorporating these fruits at different times of day helps maintain a constant balance. In the morning, pomegranate juice or a smoothie with pear and avocado supports digestion and prepares the body for the day. At midday, a salad with tomato, watermelon, and leafy greens stimulates circulation and provides freshness. At night, a small portion of light fruit contributes to restorative sleep by avoiding digestive heaviness that often interferes with sleep quality. Each combination has a specific effect. Some hydrate, others cleanse, and together, they support male health from within. Over time, David turned this routine into a pleasurable habit. He didn't see it as an obligation, but as an act of self-respect. He would turn on soft lighting, play calm music, and prepare his juice or salad slowly, savoring the color and aroma of each fruit. This mindful attitude amplified the positive effects even more, because the body responds better when food is accompanied by serenity. Digestion becomes more efficient, hormones regulate more easily, and the immune system strengthens. Taking advantage of these benefits doesn't mean following rigid rules. It means understanding that nature provides everything we need if we know how to listen. Each person has a different rhythm and a body with unique needs. Some men feel better drinking juices in the morning, others by including whole fruits in their main meals. What matters is consistency and not abandoning the practice when results take time to appear. David took almost 2 months to notice tangible improvements, but when he did, he understood that his body was rebuilding itself from within. Learning to use these fruits became a form of daily meditation. It is an invitation to care for the body with patience and constancy, recognizing that true health comes not from extremes, but from harmony. With each sip and each bite, one nourishes not only the prostate, but the entire organism, which appreciates the silent attention and discipline of someone who chooses to care for themselves with respect and gratitude toward life. When David first incorporated these fruits into his life, he did so individually, convinced that each had its own power. Over time, he discovered that true strength lay in their combination. Nature, with its silent wisdom, does not create foods in isolation, but in balance. Fruits, when combined, enhance their properties, amplify nutrient absorption, and generate synergy that the body can utilize more completely. David noticed that when he mixed watermelon with avocado, he felt more vital, digestion was lighter, and his skin took on a healthier tone. It wasn't magic, but pure biology. The lycopene in watermelon found the healthy fats in avocado as the perfect vehicle to reach cells and exert its antioxidant action. This combination not only promoted prostate health, but also cardiovascular function and overall vitality. Blood flowed more freely, tissues received more oxygen, and the body responded with more balanced energy. Similarly, David discovered that pear, with its soluble fiber, helped prepare the digestive system to better assimilate the compounds in pomegranate. When he drank a glass of pomegranate juice after eating a ripe pear, he noticed a more intense cleansing effect, as if his body was purifying itself more deeply and naturally. This experience led him to research further, realizing that many combinations considered wise by traditional knowledge have a solid scientific basis. For example, combining red fruits creates a synergistic effect on the immune system. Tomato, watermelon, and pomegranate share pigments and antioxidants that, when united, multiply their power. In the kitchen, David experimented with small, colorful salads where the sweetness of watermelon contrasted with the acidity of tomato and the intensity of pomegranate. Sometimes he added a few drops of olive oil and a little lemon juice, creating a balance between flavor and health that became his favorite ritual. Eating this way made him feel complete, mindful, and connected to each food, with the purpose of caring for his body without restrictions or sacrifices. Not all combinations, however, work equally for everyone. David learned to listen to his body, noticing when a mix suited him and when he needed to adjust it. Each organism reacts differently, and this personal observation is part of the learning process. In his case, he discovered that water-rich fruits, like watermelon or pear, suited him better in the morning, while denser fruits, like avocado or pomegranate, were ideal in the afternoon when his body craved something more nutritious and substantial. In this way, he achieved a natural balance between hydration and energy, between lightness and strength, which supported his prostate health without relying on artificial supplements. The concept of synergy also extends to the mind-body connection. David realized that when he ate calmly, enjoying the colors, aromas, and textures of the fruits, his body responded differently. The act of eating became a complete sensory experience, where each bite was an affirmation of life. This emotional connection amplified the physical effects of the foods because well-being depends not only on the chemical composition of what is ingested, but also on the emotional state with which it is received. Modern science confirms that stress hormones alter digestion and nutrient absorption, which is why eating with serenity and gratitude becomes an essential part of the healing process. Intelligent fruit combinations are not a rigid formula, but an invitation to explore, create, and rediscover one's relationship with food from a more conscious place. David began noting the mixtures that benefited him most, as if keeping a journal of his own well-being. Soon, he had developed a repertoire of simple, tasty combinations to accompany him each week: watermelon with a touch of mint, pomegranate with avocado, pear with natural yogurt, tomato with olive oil, and a bit of fresh oregano. Each of these mixes was a small celebration of balance, a way to transform the everyday into an act of profound care. He came to understand that synergy between fruits is, in reality, a metaphor for life itself. Just as foods, people and habits also enhance each other when combined wisely. It's not about extremes or prohibitions, but about seeking harmony among the elements around us. Eating well, resting enough, moving regularly, and keeping a calm mind are pieces of the same puzzle, which, once assembled, reveal the complete picture of health. And it was in this understanding that David found his true transformation, not in a miracle diet, but in the conscious integration of everything that made him feel alive. Over time, David realized that caring for the prostate was not just about eating well or drinking enough water. It was a complete philosophy of life, a form of respect for his own body. Rest, for example, became a priority. He discovered that sleeping at least 7 hours per night not only gave him more energy, but also balanced hormones and reduced internal inflammation. During deep sleep, the body repairs tissues, regulates testosterone, and clears toxins accumulated throughout the day. A rested body is a body that can heal and protect itself better. David also incorporated regular medical checkups, understanding that prevention is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. A simple test can detect subtle changes before they turn into major problems. This responsibility toward himself made him feel more in control of his health and more at peace with his age. His eating habits also became a conscious act. He avoided ultra-processed products and increased consumption of fresh fruits, seasonal vegetables, and healthy fats. Every meal became an opportunity to nourish his body rather than overload it. He began to enjoy cooking as an act of self-care, choosing ingredients that strengthened his vitality and mood. Over time, he noticed that his body responded with balance, his mind was clearer, and his energy more stable. He realized that there was no magic recipe, only harmony between rest, diet, movement, and mindset. Caring for the prostate became, for him, caring for life itself. Today, when David looks back, he does not see a struggle, but a process of transformation. What began as fear became a journey of self-knowledge and respect for his own well-being. He discovered that true medicine is not always found in drugs, but in constancy, attention to the body, and the silent power of nature. Every fruit he chose, every dawn walk, every night of restorative sleep was a step toward a fuller life. His story reflects that of thousands of men who decide to listen to their bodies before they shout, choosing prevention over resignation. Health, he understood, is neither inherited nor bought. It is cultivated every day through simple, conscious choices. The final message David shares is clear and serene. Caring for the prostate is not only about preserving a bodily function, it is about protecting the vital energy that allows one to enjoy the present with strength and joy. Nature provides the resources, but it is up to each person to use them wisely. In that balance between knowledge and action, between science and daily life, lies the true power of lasting health.